I don't know what it is, but for some reason, um, I'm just hated or disliked. I know most of it is because I say what's on my mind, and I don't sugarcoat shit. And I also expect the same from other people. You know, um, no matter how bad my feelings are hurt, and even though I say things to people, um, I don't um, like I tell people how it is about them, but when it comes to how I feel and I tell other people, it seems to be disregarded. And I remember growing up, like during the okay, not during, but it was like the tail end of MySpace and like peak Facebook where you could say whatever you want, and people would have to just eat those words, and they can't just feel offended and block you or go to Facebook jail or something like that. um I also remember the times where like I made friends easy, during those times. And I was liked, not tolerated, but I was liked. People wanted me around. And probably because one part of me is still a bachelor, like refusing to get married or having kids, you know. I'm kind of stuck in that, like I'm turning 34 in like 30 days, you know. 28 maybe, I don't know. And the friends that I had close to me, they hardly text me or even want to hang out. For example, it was this one guy I know. Um he his wife or fiance, girlfriend, they've been with each other for a long time, you know. She was my friend first, but there's something about this guy that he stole me away from her, and we just became like best fucking friends. And over time, like him wanting to hang out with me started to decline. I've noticed that. I haven't mentioned it um when he did a brief breakup, like they went back out with each other like a few months later. Um but he told me like a part of it was because of his wife. Now, when it comes to me, everyone has their priorities in life, and my priorities, I see them differently. So everyone else's priorities is like, mom, mom or dad, then comes, you know, the husband or wife, and then the children, and some people's priorities is the children, then their wife or husband, or and then their parents, So, um, my priority will be friends and family, because every family is different. You know, some family are unfortunately genuine POSs. You know, um, not to throw names out there, but my ex girlfriend's family. Every time when I talk to her, there's usually nothing positive. And there was like before I witnessed it with my own eyes, I'm thinking like, how bad can it be? You know what I mean? Like your mom, especially being the only child, like they should have your back 110%. But boy, was I wrong. So, in that regard, people's priorities when it comes to, friendships or any kind of relationship, differs. And, in an alternate timeline, if you ask me what are my priorities, I would say family, then the girlfriend, wife, or whatever, then comes the friends. Um, but then, psychologically over time, it kind of changed where, it's your friends because, like with my family, you know, um, they see me, they know who I am, but at the end of the day, they don't know what I'm about. You know, the friends that you make over your lifetime, they know what you're about because you became their friend. Whether it's a mutual interest for bear, for hunting, for for guns, for makeup, for cars, for financial gain, like Jonah Hill, for example, like the first movie that I remember him from was I think Superbad or Grandma's Boy, maybe, or something in the nature. But you know, like before his acting career, he was a nobody, right? Obviously, that goes without saying. And he had his friends, and then when he became famous, naturally you get famous friends, like Leonardo DiCaprio, and that friend is like up there. So you know, but now that he has a friend like Leonardo DiCaprio, um, how can his old friends relate? How can his family relate? Because as far as we can assume is that um his family's not as rich as him anymore, as far as we know. So how could his family relate to money problems? You know what I'm saying? So that's where like having someone to completely understand you is important when it comes to a relationship. you know. So, and relationships, they say opposites attract. Sometimes that's not the case because, how could your partner understand what you're going through if they never experience it, or don't even like remotely know what's from A to B or X, Y, and Z, you know. And I think that's where I lost some of my friends, is because over time, they've essentially became adults, and here I am, 34, still no kids, which I'm completely okay with. Not married, completely okay with. So probably to them is what I'm thinking is like, you know, how could they relate to my new struggles, kind of thing. Um but putting that aside though, it's like your high school friends too. Like me, rest in peace, dude. I fucking love you. Like me and Justin, like we were inseparable. And there was a time where we kind of drifted apart. But I think after the Navy we just got right back into the swing of things. And there was this girl that I went to high school with. Her name, well, I'm not putting her name out there actually, but I was a senior and she was a sophomore, and we were pretty close. Like, I went to her birthday parties, fucking lit. Like, that's when I knew that Italians have the deepest love for everybody. If once your family. Yeah, so like I went to her graduation. I went to her her birthday parties. We talked, we confided. We were pretty good friends for a while. And then she even confided to me that she caught an incurable STD. And like, I didn't spread it, I didn't say nothing to no one, I just kept my mouth shut and kept it between us. And when someone to me when someone tells you something like that deep, to me that's like true friendship. And then over time, like you say hi, what's up, they didn't want nothing to do with you know and there's always going to be two sides to every story. So I don't know what their story is. I don't know who she talked to, or any of my other friends talked to. But always keep in mind that there's going to be someone that's going to be talking behind your back that won't give you the time and day to even defend your name, your own name. But I'm only guessing, that's that's what's happening because, you know, like we were close, we talked all the time, and then all of a sudden, you know, we stopped being in contact with each other. And it's not just her, it's plenty of other friends. And oh, by the way, as much as I hate to agree with this, because I mean, yes, men and women can be friends, strictly platonic. Trust me, it can happen. Um, but that aside, like there's been a lot of friends that that are still on my Facebook. You know, um, Oh, another good example. I had this friend named Natasha. Well, her she wants her name to be called Paris for some reason now. But she's been my neighbor since like shit. What, 1996, 1990, 1997, like a long time. And there was a time where I was taken away from my family. I came back into the mix, and from like 2007 to 2009, we were pretty good friends. And then um like I joined the Navy, and then like after the Navy, I it's like we weren't friends anymore. It's like, I had to start from ground up again. And I no offense to her, but she is she became mentally messed up for some reason. I don't know why or how, but sometimes my mom's like, yeah, she's making fucking you know worship circles outside, and I'm like, oh damn, she's on that shit now. But I think the important thing um when it comes to friendship is just try to stay with it, because yes, blood is thicker than water, but sometimes you're going to need that friend, because like everything is like superficial. you know you add a random person on Facebook, and you know like it says it's your friend, but like, is that really your friend though? you know and it's like, you add them, but you don't even talk. I think I could, shit, there's like one, two, there's possibly like five people on my Facebook right now that if I text them, we can actually have a conversation, versus like, hey, then like 3, 4 days later, they read the message and, don't respond, or just like falls to the wind or something like that. So five people out of like a lot, 100, let's say it's 100 plus, friends on Facebook, like, I don't know. I'm just rambling on at this point, but it's like, I still want to know what I have personally done to to make them upset. You know, like, just be honest.